But it's always a surprise when, oh, it's always a surprise when the tide comes in, when the tide comes in. But it's always a surprise when, oh, it's always a surprise when you call again, when you call again. Oh, I'm not supposed to answer, I'm not supposed to know all that. The silence answer, I've got to let it go. Oh, I'm not supposed to answer, I'm not supposed to know all that. The silence answer, I've got to let it go now. Faster and faster, dear. It's like we're moving backwards in your rearview mirror. The road eaten up by the snow, eaten up. I can feel, I know you feel it too. A little flicker on the path we steer of subtle flashing lights. We'll go faster and faster. This time my mind, it won't forget. This time my mind, we're not there yet. This time it goes faster and faster. This time my mind, it won't forget. This time my mind, we're not there yet. This time it goes faster and faster. Faster and faster, dear. The road's still moving backwards. Now it looks so clear. The snow eaten up by the road, eaten up by. I can still recall the twists and turns, but it feels so straight ahead, a little farther till the end. We'll go faster and faster. This time my mind, it won't forget. This time my mind, we're not there yet. This time it goes faster short time, yeah, I really must make haste. But I don't know what's ahead, or what the ending will bring. I just need to take a minute and then try again to take out the king. If I'm stuck, I'll call you with each stage I'll move through. Well, I know just a little more. Each step I know brings us closer to that old throne. If I'm stuck, I'll call you with each stage I'll move through. Well, I know just a little more. Each step I know brings us closer to that old throne. These days all I see is everything you're not. Between those melodies, it's all I've been thinking of. Since then, the lines you left behind you, they cover every bit of this home. And these days, it's all I've ever wanted, it's all I've ever wanted to know. What it is that keeps me from letting you go, I don't even know. What it is that keeps me from letting you go, I don't even know. What it is that keeps me from letting you go, it's not what I thought. I guess we got what we want. These days all I hear are words that I forgot. And of those memories I'd rather lose the lot. Since then the days are getting longer, but I keep getting lost in the snow. And these days it's all I've ever wanted, it's all I've ever wanted to know. What it is that keeps me from letting you go, I don't even know. What it is that keeps me from letting you go, I don't even know. What it is that keeps me from letting you go, it's not what I thought. I guess we got what we want. 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 It's been a while, I've been out on my own. I get a little anxious when you call me on the phone. Somebody said that it fades away, but in the interim it was hard to see that way. It's been a while, I've been out on my own. I'm in denial about living life alone.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round three. Let me get my numbers right. Round three of Zad's Galaxy Tour Season 11. My name is Shim. I'm going to be your host and broadcaster tonight. Happy to bring you this round three action here at Watkins Glen for round three of Season 11. As we watch our drivers navigate free practice, watch them tackle this very tricky track. Today is going to be a test of endurance on tires. It's not that long of a race, only 45 minutes, but our drivers have no mandatory pit stops tonight, which means they'll have to be extra careful on their tires, making sure to manage them and get every ounce of pace that they can out of them throughout the whole race, because if they burn their tires out too quickly, it could be detrimental to them later on in the race. Just getting some blurbs out of the way. If you're new to Zealous Racing League, if this is your first time with us, be sure to like and subscribe. Also, join our Discord. Links are on the homepage of our YouTube channel. That's where you're going to get the most up-to-date information on all things Zealous Racing League. So if you're interested in getting into sim racing, you're maybe an experienced sim racer and you're looking for a good community of folks centered in North America to get into sim racing with and do some leagues with, that's what we're here for. As we have a few minutes left in our free practice here, I'm going to be drawing some attention away from the driving. I'm going to give a rundown of the current standings for our league so far. So let me get this up here. Remember, we have two classes of racers this season. We have the Centurions, which is our pro class, and we also have the excuse me, and we also have the Legionnaires, which is our pro-am class. In the Centurions, we have Christopher Larson, our last season winner, currently dominating the championship once again. Behind him is Matthew Reed with 80 points to Larson's 102. Not far behind Reed is Jose Nunez with 74 points. Kevin Kapelke right behind with 73. Close battle between them. Hopefully we'll see that tonight. Henry Harvey and Portis are 1 point away from each other as well, 67 and 66 points respectively. Belanger not far behind with 62. Burr, having missed the first race, has 31 points. And we have Justin Friesen, who opted to end his time with the league this season. We've got Skylar Loverink and Juan Valero that join us as well, hopefully for the race today, if all goes to plan. I do see Valero there out on track, currently sitting P3 in our free practice. Going over to the Legionnaires, I was looking at this. This is very close, and I think we're going to see a lot of really great battles from this class throughout the season. Matt Fender is currently leading our Legionnaires class with 80 points. Dale Rodman Jr. close behind after a really good recovery drive last week, currently sitting 78. Christian Landry, 77 right behind. Carlos Flores is sitting 75, doing quite well there. Sean Collis, 69. Nice. Miles Harvey, he's got 63. Toby Yao and Glenn Pinio, 2 points away from each other as well. James Turnbull, 1 point from Pinio there. 54, 52, and 51 points. Adam Henry's got 44 points. Jay Friesen's got 42. Excuse me. Lenny Dijkstra's got 36. Chris Rise has got 33. Beaudry with 31. And we have some drivers who have not been able to make it to any of the races. Now, folks, since we are since we are a kind of a gentleman's league um, racing series, and we want to get new people into the series, one thing that we actually are doing this week, which is really cool, and we've been doing it all season, but something we have this week is we got a couple of wildcard drivers. These are drivers who are just coming in to give league racing a shot. Their results will not matter, and that does not mean that they're in the season overall. They're just doing this as a trial run to see if it's something that they like, something that they want to keep working on. So we have, we're just watching him, David Bernal, racing in what appears to be the new Ferrari. Indeed, it is the new Ferrari. He is our first wildcard driver. We do have another, isn't in the chat yet, or isn't in the server yet, so I will mention him when he gets here. But kind of the rules for them is they do have to start at the back of the pack, and they cannot qualify. But other than that, the race is all for them to learn and figure things out. As we watch David, I think, managing his outlap here, coming in on a first lap. I think it looks like he goes just a little wide there, but he's got plenty of time in free practice to get a few more laps in. Looking at the timings, looks like Kevin Kapelke has the best lap so far in free practice. Larson is about to finish his, though. Track is nice and cool right now, 15 degrees. Currently 4 in the morning. Excuse me. Like I mentioned earlier, this is going to be a very tricky race for our drivers. Without a pit stop, Watkins is really going to chew up that set of tires that all the drivers are going to be starting on. As I've mentioned so many times before, the new physics really punish you for overusing your tires, especially early in your stints. So it's going to be really important for our drivers to settle in quickly and to make sure that those tires slowly get up to the operating temperatures that are really optimal for them. So our drivers are really going to need to be conscious of how they use the tires, of how they manage their race. Not because they're going to have to manage their pit stops, but because they are going to need to be careful about how they use the one set of tires that they have. And last week, or 2 weeks ago when we were at Valencia, we really saw what a new pair of tires can do to a driver's car, like their speed and their lap pace. Larson opted to take just gas at his one mandatory pit stop, just fuel in the car. And with just taking fuel in the car, no change of tires, I believe it was Reed behind him that closed in very quickly, almost had the race win because he was so much faster on his new set of rubber. So, like I mentioned, very important for our drivers to be conscious of those tires. I can foresee there being a case where later into our race, we're going to see a few of the drivers lose control of their cars. In a lot of the especially difficult parts of the track, going into the bus stop chicane, the downhill braking point as they enter the boot section, and also as they exit the boot section back onto the main track. I foresee there being some trickiness for our drivers. All right, well, I'll let our free practice wind down here. I'm going to go grab just a bit of water, and I'll be back before qualifying. So just sit tight, and I'll be back shortly. Apologize for being only a few seconds late here to qualifying, as our drivers are now out on the track for their outlap. We've got Kevin Kapelke here. Car out in front is Jose Nunez. Let's watch his car as we go through the first lap, as he's now entering the boot section on the outlap. Nunez currently in the Mercedes AMG this season. right, here we go. Following Nunez on the first lap. Down the start-finish straight, braking right at about the boards on the side there. You want to use all the runoff you possibly can here. This track is very generous on that turn one runoff. Up the hill, over the bridge, and down the back straight we go towards the bus stop. Mercedes awfully fast in a straight line here. Braking into the bus stop chicane here. Very tricky section if you unsettle the car. Really masterfully done from Nunez here. Into the fast right-hander here. Gonna really grind the tires. Now braking into the boot section of the track. Very tricky braking point there. It's gonna be tough for our drivers once the tires get a little bit worn. Now up the toe. Down another straight to the heel. Using all the track you possibly can. Now up, exiting the boot section. Very tricky braking point here. Easy to unsettle the car as the car goes up the hill there. Loses a lot of its weight as the car kind of tries to bounce itself up as you move up into the last final couple sections of the track, last couple turns. Just trying to get as close to the wall as you can there on the exit of the last turn. At 44.5 set by Nunez. I think that's going to be a pretty good go for him. I expect the best laps of qualifying to be closer to the 43s. Larson is in the 44.2s. I expect 43s before the end. Nunez going to put a fresh set of boots on. Miles Harvey has set a really fast time for the Legionnaires class. He currently leads the class with a 45.6. I expect there to be improvements in class though. Doing better than the other Harvey we have. Currently sitting P14 overall. 4 seconds back. Must have had a bad sector or something like that. Was at least able to get the lap on the board. Nunez still in the pits. Wonder if he's making some setup changes. Watching Larson now as he comes out of the boot. Really great shot of all the cars coming up the hill there. Larson rocking that new MSL livery, looking mighty fine if I don't say so. Larson does improve. There's the 43 I was looking for, 43.7. That's going to be the time to beat. Henry Harvey improves his time enough to get back up into the Centurions area. Only driver in Centurions that has not set a time is Belanger, JP. Got one of the BMWs behind him. I believe that's it's not Miles Harvey, that's actually Henry Harvey, who has to make some evasive maneuvers there into the chicane. It's our friend Adam Henry here. Ooh, drifting on the chicane there. Was able to hold it. Nunez back on track. Juan Valero back in the saddle. Currently sitting P2 in class. Valero looks like he's slowing down. I think he's just looking for a better exit here so he can start another fast lap, trying to challenge Larson. Nunez halfway through his lap. Larson's still out there as well. He's at the bus stop. Miles Harvey still holding Miles Harvey is still holding the lead of the Centurions, or the Legionnaires class. Carlos Flores right behind, currently with a 55.3, or 45.3, 7.7. Getting close. Might be having some server issues from some of our drivers tonight. Some people jumping in and out. Our friend Glenn Pinio sitting P3 in class. This is going to be a really big test of our drivers in all classes, really. Especially the Legionnaires, though. I think we're going to see a lot of shakeups. You know, I think Miles Harvey hasn't had a terrible season so far, but getting P1 in class in qualifying, I don't think he's been in that running since the season has started. Carlos Flores on the other hand, he's been battling up there. He's been battling up there all season long. So I'm not surprised to see him so far up. Belanger's able to improve, but still stuck between a few Legionnaires. Reed is now P2, and he just biffs it out of the bus stop chicane there. You really do hate to see it. We have Sean Collis sitting P4 in class. Pinio and Collis here are about a half a second back from the other drivers in class. Carlos Flores takes the lead of the Legionnaires class. Portis improves his time. Flores takes the lead by almost 3/10. A little over 3/10. Goes a little bit wide, our friend Collis there. Watching our friend Kevin Yu. Going back, watching Chris Rise here. Larson improves. He's got a 43.24 now. a second ahead of everyone else. That is incredibly fast. Our friend Martin Alberts is able to join now. Currently, Flores Harvey Pinio, Legionnaire class, top 3. Larson Reed Nunez. Getting awfully close within the rest of our Centurion class. P2 to P7 is all separated by less than 2/10 of a second, or less than 3/10 of a second between 2 and 7. Pretty incredible spread there. I spoke too soon though. Kevin Kapelke goes a half a tenth behind Larson here, and he's got probably one more lap left, maybe 2, in order to dethrone Larson here. Pressure is on. Navigating the bus stop. Let's watch him on this last lap here. Bernal back in the server. Goes to the heel. A lot of drivers are done with their laps. Larson, Nunez, Flores, Reed improves. Or sorry, I think that actually was Portis who improved. Valero still out. Belanger still out. Miles Harvey still out. Belanger still out. Adam Henry and Chris Rise are still out. Yao and Alberts as well. 210 stopped on the side of the track. That's Chris Rise. He's out. He's done. Kapelke wasn't able to improve. Valero improved his lap, though. He's now P3. In class, Reed, now P4, did improve his lap, but not enough. Portis is now the driver to watch in class, as he is now at the toe of the boot. Ooh, and just has to duck out there. The 66 car of Adam Henry will be the first across here. Henry, don't believe was able to improve. Behind him, number 1 car of Kapelke now. He did improve, but it wasn't enough. Last but not least is Belanger. Again, I believe he improved, but wasn't enough. And there we have it. That is qualifying, folks. That is qualifying. And now our drivers have 4 minutes to get their cars set up and ready to go. 4 minutes to make the last minute changes to their cars before we go racing for 45 minutes here at Watkins Glen. Reminder that our drivers have no mandatory pit stops tonight, so I don't foresee anyone going into the pits or going into refuel. Everyone will have what they need from the start. Speaking of that start, let's go through the starting order. In the Centurion class, we have Christopher Larson leading the Ray. Behind him is Kevin Kapelke. Then we have Juan Valero, P3. Lining up beside him is Matthew Reed, Kenneth Portis, Jose Nunez, Henry Harvey, and JP Belanger. In the Legionnaires class, Carlos Flores leads the class in P9 overall. Miles Harvey lines up right next to him. Glenn Pinio, Sean Collis, Kevin Yu, Martin Alberts, Lenny Dijkstra, Adam Henry, Dale Rodman, Chris Rise, Matt Fender, Toby Yao, and then our wild card driver for tonight, we have got David Bernal there at the back. It would be fun to watch and see how all of our drivers do at today's race, but I just want to remind you, if you like what you're seeing, be sure to give us a like and subscribe. It really does help out and really helps show your support. Also, if you're looking to get involved with ZRL in the future or want to learn more about our upcoming leagues and special events, be sure to join our Discord server. Links are on the homepage of our YouTube channel, so you can just go there, click the link, and you should be able to get into our Discord server. That's where you're going to get the most up-to-date information about all of our leagues and what have it. And also, if you're just new to sim racing and looking to get some help, we're here to provide that kind of service too. Not that we're getting paid for it, but we love to help if you have questions. Last little note that I want to give out too is kind of a call for help, I guess. This is something I've been asking about the last few weeks, but we are going to be in need of an interim or co-broadcaster and commentator for the next season, preferably the next season. I've got some obligations later in the year which will cause me to have to take a brief sabbatical, a brief hiatus from doing the streaming myself, from doing this commentating myself. Hopefully, you know, not too soon after, September, maybe turn of next year, I'll hopefully be able to get back into the saddle and be able to do some more commentating. But also before that, really would like to get one season under my belt again, because it's been quite a long time since I've gotten to race. And as much as I love doing these broadcasts and I love bringing this content for you guys, I like sim racing too. I started at ZRL as a racer in the leagues, so I want to try to give Christopher Larson a run for his money. Like I just want to try. I'm not going to get close, but somebody's got to punt him into the wall. I guess it better be me, right? I kid. I give him too hard of a time. But anyway, 2 seconds left for our drivers. Looks like everyone is able to push the drive button in time. Our drivers will have a full outlap. Our drivers will have a full outlap to get everything ready and warmed up for the race. So we watch all the drivers join the long lap around the track for the rolling start. It was last time we were here at Watkins Glen that it was Portis who actually had a really great move on turn 1, so we'll have to see if Kapelki can make a move like that stick as well. Granted, Larson wasn't the driver that was on the podium that race, but a driver who's given Larson a run for his money in the past, Zhang. He was the one in the lead. Or sorry, I should say he was on pole position. And Portis went up the inside on turn 1 and was able to make it stick. So let's see if Kapelki can get a good run off of the line. Maybe make a little move of his own. Gotta say, Watkins Glen, a really classic American track. I feel like of a lot of the American tracks that we have, the U.S. tracks, it's probably one of the most famous around the world. Has held many a race in the past, whether it be Formula One, IndyCar, NASCAR, you name it. It's raced here at the Glen. For a lot of our drivers, this track, I would say they'd consider it their home race. I know a lot of drivers love to race this in their spare time. Find the track tricky but enjoyable. And even though there are multiple US tracks now in the game, I think this one definitely has a special place in a lot of drivers' hearts. Out of all of the US tracks that we have, I think this might be the favorite out of all of them. That's just my guess. And here we have it, our drivers now turning the corner on the final turn. Larson, Kapelki, Valero, podiums for the class. Miles Harvey is ahead of Belanger right now. Could be just a timing issue though. Drive through for Valero there, and we are green. Must have been too fast off of the line. Larson goes to cut off Kapelki there, and Kapelki spins. He's sideways. That's Reed all the way on the runoff there. I think that's Valero with the drive-through who slotted into P2. He's not going to be happy about that. Must have been going just slightly too fast at the start of the race. Behind them is Reed, who actually, no, that's Portis. Portis, who's currently in P3. Reed goes on the inside. No moves made on the bus stop though. Probably the smart idea. Kapelki is now all the way back behind Nunez. Valero really running away, trying to stick with Larson. In the class below, Flores, Harvey, Collis. Looks like Pino's lost a few spots. Collis now into P11 or P3 in class. Got a four-way battle here between what is that? Nunez, Harvey, and Belanger. Gonna Kapelki here. Sorry, Kapelki's in that mix as well after the lap 1 little incident there. Tires must have been just a little bit too cold to make the move work. I think he was awfully close to Larson too, maybe messed up a little bit there. Everyone's safe for the most part on the first lap, which is more than you can say most times. As our drivers round the final turn on lap 1. Looking at some of those drivers behind. Looks like that's Dijkstra making the move on Pinio. Pinio goes wide. Dijkstra has a little bit of a moment. Pinio will re-overtake, or Glenio, yeah, Pinio will re-overtake Dijkstra there. Up the hill. Valero now 2 seconds back from Larson. Larson's just going to pull away at this point. Ooh, and there's Dijkstra goes wide again, and that's also, let's say that's Collis up there. Yep, Collis went too long into the exit of the bus stop. He's now demoted. That'll put Kevin Yu up into P3 in class. Excuse me. Henry drops back. A little bit of a moment for him. Down the straight, start finish straight they go. Rise is now P3 in class. Albert's behind. Valero has yet to make his pit stop with that drive-through. Portis and Reed very close now into the bus stop. Looks like that's Martin Alberts overtaking you there. And we have, looks like the Porsche of Rise into the grass there on the inside. Indeed, Rise is now in the pits. Couple other cars, Pinio in the pits, Henry in the pits. Looks like some damage maybe on those cars. Kevin Kapelke battling with Harvey. Valero now taking that drive-through penalty. He's gonna have a lot of work to do now. You into turn one, chasing down Martin Alberts. Reed now on the tail of Portis. This is the battle for the podium positions here, 2 and 3. Nunez getting close because of this battle. This could be a really great battle throughout the race. I don't think these drivers in qualifying had more than a couple tenths between their overall pace or over their one lap pace. And when you bring that into a race, any one of these drivers could stay ahead. Just a matter of making the move now as they all come up the hill. Great shot there of all the cars coming up the hill. Belanger doing a good job to stick with. The Lamborghinis battling it out here. 2 ZRL admins, Portis and Reed. in the Lamborghini this season. I must say, Reed back. Ooh, Reed looking on the inside. Not going to have the space to do that, though. Gets awfully close, though. Bernal doing well to stick with Fender there in the back. Down the straight they go. Look at the speed of Nunez as they go to the bus stop. Nunez is able to stick with so well in that Mercedes. Got some great top line speed. Larson now. 7 seconds ahead. Pinio and Henry back on track. Going to Reed's point of view here as they come down the sole of the shoe, of the boot. Off the close battles, Kapelki getting really close to Nunez there in the braking zone. Kapelki's just probably trying to find his opportunity. If you go down behind them, we've got Belanger, who just made the move on Henry Harvey going into turn 1. Belanger will get that position. Harvey not looking great for race pace so far. Maybe just having a few incidences. Back down in the Legionnaires class, Flores comfortably keeping the lead. Harvey behind. Dale Rodman is currently in P3. That's going to be a good performance from him considering his qualifying position, if he can hold it. Rodman also getting awfully close to the other Harvey, Miles. As they come down the hill, looking for an opportunity here to overtake. Is he going to look inside? No, he sticks on the outside. Outbreaks him going into the turn, but he's got to take that outside line. I don't think he's got it. But he should have some good pace up the hill. Can Rodman get him here going into the braking zone? No, he cannot. He was not close enough after that short run up. Ooh, a little bit of a moment from Miles there. A little bit of a snap in the car. Ooh, Miles does go wide there. Maybe some damage on that right side of the car. Rodman does look on the inside, isn't able to make it. Harvey cutting over quite fast there. Reed and Portis, Nunez, Kapelki still battling it out there. Now down into the start-finish line. Start-finish straight. Just not the momentum that Rodman needs to make that move. Going back to our Centurion class here. Belanger pulling ahead of Henry Harvey. Race is starting to settle down a little bit more. Fender's now been overtaken by Bernal. Larson now getting 10 seconds ahead. Reed looking on the inside. Harvey now has has Rodman on the inside, and Rodman has the line. Brake at about the same place there. Ooh, Harvey has the stomp on the brakes as Rodman kind of plants the rear end of that Lamborghini right in the middle of the brake of the apex there. Oh no, and Harvey loses the car a little bit. Oh, and that is a BMW in the middle of the track. BMW of Harvey. I don't think any other cars were getting swept up by him there. Luckily. But he's definitely going to have to go in for repairs there. Miles Harvey, a little bit of just a small little moment there on such a tricky part of the track. So easy to lose the car. Loses so much of its weight there. Harvey opting to keep going. Salvage what points he can or what positions he can. Even this battle here is taming down quite a bit. Even though they're still pretty neck and neck, I think a lot of our drivers are just trying to manage right now. Did just lose a car, but don't know which one. Oh, it was just a brief blip in the system, actually. Pinio and Harvey in the pits now. Going back just a couple of positions for Portis. We have the AMG of Nunez. Dijkstra getting close to Valero, but I believe that's Valero just passing Dijkstra, if I had to say. Valero moved his way, he's already moved his way up P14 overall. Trying to regain as many positions as he can, but he's got to make it back to this group here. He's got 29 minutes now to do it. Might be able to do it, given his times right now. Valero running in the 45s. The low 45s even at that. Whereas a lot of the drivers, even up here, are running in the 46s. Although Belanger just did run a 45 himself last lap. Like I mentioned, though, a lot of those drivers are going slower than Valero. Valero does have more traffic to go through, though. Valero now inching up on Yao. And a few other cars, Collis, Alberts. Reed has actually made the move on Portis, it appears. And we missed that, which means it's time for a replay. Bit of a battle there. Wonder if that's where he got him. Too bad we can't go back even further. Love to see that. As Reed is able to make that move on Portis. Now, Portis feeling the pressure from Nunez behind. Nunez looks to have had to slow down a little bit there going up the hill. Nunez has got a really great run of it, though, trying to find an opportunity to move past here. Awfully close. Look at how close they are. But Portis has got that inside line, and the bus stop, that's basically his. Nunez has the top speed to pass. Lamborghini better in the corners, though. It does appear to be, at least appears to be the case. Larson now 20 seconds ahead. Almost 20 seconds, I should say. It's not 20 seconds just yet, but it'll be that soon. Ooh, awfully close between Belanger and Kapelki there. Up the hill they go. Nunez doesn't have as good of a run this time. Don't think he's going to be able to make a move. Or even attempt to make a move. Oh, Belanger's got a really good run of it, though. Right on the tail. Opts not to take him at the chicane. May have had the pace to get by if he went to the right. Now Kapelki right on the tail of the Mercedes in front of him. Pulling away from the Mercedes behind him. Harvey's picked up his pace a little bit. Henry Harvey. Flores, Rodman, and Yu are currently the leaders in the Legionnaire class. Flores has got 5 seconds on Rodman behind. Yu is then, look at the timing, is 6.5 seconds behind of Rodman. Albert's closing in on Yu. Dijkstra in the pits. Looks on the inside, isn't able to make it work. Ooh, Kapelki gets a little bit squirrely there on the exit. Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot more of that as the race progresses. We've already seen a great deal of it. It's so easy to do on this track. Just lose the tires in a lot of the awkward spots of the track. But I think it's going to become more and more prevalent as the tires start to lose their grip. We are just over the halfway point of this race. Like I mentioned, Larson almost 20 seconds ahead. Very lonely race for him. Everything else seems to be settling down a little bit here. Alberts just got passed from Valero. Nunez looking awfully good. Awfully consistent. Good racing from all of our drivers so far. It looks like everything's fairly clean. Nunez looked like he cut a lot of that first curb on the bus stop there. Couldn't really tell 100% there, but looked like he cut it pretty deep. Here we got you and Valero. Valero looking to get ahead of another car. Looks like there was a car ahead of him, the 66 of Henry, getting out of the way, getting lapped. Valero isn't seeing a chance to get by. Making quite a tear, though, up the field. Really isn't too far behind. Valero takes a wide outside line, gets the inside going into the next turn, and that should be the move done. And there's you, just losing a little bit of the grip there, but is able to hold the car nice and straight. Alberts has got Yao right behind him. In front of them is the lap car of Henry. Henry gets out of the way. No move from Yao there. Portis sticking with Reed quite well there. Looks like Reed had the overall pace on Portis. And now looks like they're just kind of pulling each other along. Got a second and a half on Nunez now. It's the widest I've seen that gap. Oh no, and that's Alberts losing it out of the bus stop. I don't give that position to Yao, and Collis ahead. I think maybe not, but Bernal gets awfully close. Bernal, our one wild card driver tonight, doing awfully well, and that's Alberts on the side of the road that he just passes. Doing great for his wild card debut here for ZRL. Driving the Ferrari, looks to have a little bit of damage on the front there, but doesn't appear to be anything that's really hindering him. He's moving up the field nice and easy. And I say that's damage. It could easily just be like debris and everything getting onto the car. Although I'm inclined to think that might be just slight damage on the front. And there's Collis, I think, behind. Or actually, that's Fender behind. Really, I wouldn't even say that was kissing the wall. I'd say that was tackling the wall there. Portis and Reed awfully close together. 99 of Pinio stopped, spun around at the exit of the boot section, and he keeps going. Good on him. Easy part to lose the car on. You just got to keep on working on it, keep on going. Reed able to gain a bit bigger gap now on Portis. Just a little bit of lift. Maintain the grip. Belanger now. Up the hill he goes. Has lost some time to the drivers up ahead. Valero working to close the gap. Got 6 seconds to get to Rodman in front. But he's got open air running a 45.9. Absolute blistering lap. With that clean air, that's actually probably going to do a good deal of favors for Valero. Portis is now feeling a little bit more pressure from Nunez behind than he is trying to pressure Reed ahead. Gap is now closed back in on these drivers after getting spaced out a little bit earlier. 15 minutes left in the race, but the tires are really hurting now. Actually, probably the tires are getting to a point where they're kind of coming into their own right now, if I'm not mistaken. Almost getting a second life. It's kind of what happens with these tires, is that you get some really great initial grip first. After the first lap, you get some really good initial grip. Then you lose it for a few laps. Really the trickiest part of the race, and then tires kind of just deal with it, and you have a pretty consistent grip after that. Oh, Nunez did poke his nose in the middle there. Watch it from above here. Nothing really too crazy happening. Fender and Alberts awfully close. Alberts did have that bit of an incident, so probably deal with some damage. Ooh, and Portis. Ooh, very close between these drivers there. Nunez trying to manage and get as much time out of it as he can. Valero has dropped the gap ahead only about a second. It's because Rodman and Flores ahead are actually doing really great laps. Mercedes getting awfully close in the braking zone there. This is giving Belanger an opportunity to get a little bit closer. Winding down the clock here, we have 11 minutes, 15 seconds left to go. From the inside of Portis's car, up the hill we go. This is where the Mercedes really shines. Looks like they both got a pretty good run up the hill, though. And now starting to claw closer and closer. So much pace from the Mercedes there in the straights. Larson now 30 seconds ahead. Easily has the fastest lap of the race. Valero behind has the next fastest. Ooh, and that's the Audi of Dijkstra spinning out a little bit there, getting lapped by these cars here. Spreading out here on the defensive is Reed, and Nunez making this opportunity to go on the outside of Portis here. Portis doesn't have the better line going up the hill. Nunez taking that inside, cut him off. This could be bad for Portis too. Kapelke, he might be able to get in there. Is not able to. Nunez making great advantage of the defensive that Reed was putting up there. Portis felt like he had to take the toe there and ends up losing the position. Really opportune driving from Nunez there, is able to take the podium spot from Portis, and maybe he can get a little bit further. Maybe he can go a little bit more. With that top speed, now we have Fender and Alberts battling about the same spot. Reed now feeling the pressure from Nunez. Nunez has got so much top speed though, and he is ahead. And they go side by side into the bus stop. Nunez cutting the track as much as he can, trying to stick with. Isn't able to get a move done. Reed will stick ahead. Excellent battling from these drivers up here in the front. Belanger is right back in the mix here as well. And we're back driving in single file here, but drivers are trying to squeak out every inch of pace that they have. Going off track a little bit too in the process. And there's Portis looking on the inside, isn't close enough to make that move, just trying to scare Nunez a little bit. They have 7 minutes, 30 seconds left in this race, so not many laps left to go. So if Portis wants to get back that podium position, he's going to have to do it soon, and he's really going to have to solidify that position quickly. Kapelke is still a danger here as well, as is Belanger even now. Rodman is awfully close to Flores ahead. And that's for a win in class here. And there you have almost a move there. I think that's Rodman pulling ahead of Flores. Flores goes on the inside, but isn't enough. That's a move by Rodman there. Rodman takes the lead of the Legionnaires class. Reed battling with Nunez. Nunez looking for the opportunity to make his move. He's got the inside line up the hill. That's really good for him. Now Portis is awfully dangerous for Reed. Can Portis make the move here? Oh, getting squeezed right to the edge. Oh, pushes Reed off just a little bit, but Reed sticks with it. Reed opting to brake a little bit earlier. Wants to get that line. We got to go back to this battle here. They come down the start-finish straight. Reed on the inside. Portis on the outside. Reed isn't able to hold it. Belanger looking on the outside of Kapelke here as well. Oh my goodness. Nunez is able to walk away with this even a little bit. Really solidifying that P2 position. Good moves from him. Oh no! That's Reed hitting the inside curb. Oh no, and that'll put him right back at the back of the pack. And that pretty much means he is now P6. That's really too bad. Just getting a little bit too ambitious there. Reed dropping back after such good defending and racing throughout the whole race. 5 minutes left in the race. Hits the wall. Nunez, excellent moves from him. Portis, though, has now got Belanger right on his tail. Belanger taking the opportunity from all the chaos and is able to overtake Kapelke there. And now it's up to Portis to open that gap back up. Although Belanger looking awfully good here. Looks to the inside. Maybe overcooks it just a little bit going up the hill. Kapelke behind, running well. Reed, lots of damage on that Lamborghini. Harvey is a little bit further back. Has been able to gain some time back. Could challenge Reed here in the later stages of the race. Reed's just got to maintain his pace. Rodman is now leader of the Legionnaires class. There was a lot of action right at the end of this race here. Still has Flores right on his tail. Valero's in the mix now too. That's Valero right behind Flores there. P3 in the Legionnaires class right now is Kevin Yu. A little bit on his own, but I bet he's not too disappointed about that. Toby Yao, P4. Also a little bit on his own. Sean Collis right behind him. Our wildcard driver, David Bernal. He's P7 right now in class, or in the Legionnaires. That is a good showing from our wildcard driver tonight. Even though he's a little bit lonely there right now. It's good on him. We got Matt Fender and Albert still battling it out here at the back of the pack in the Legionnaires. Gonna have to come back to that battle and see how it's unfolding in a bit. Got Dijkstra and Henry are the last two cars that are still on the track for the Legionnaire class. Dijkstra one better than Henry. Let's go back to the top of everything here. And definitely going to want to look into the status of Reed here. Is now where Larson is on track. I think we may have only one lap after this left. So it could be 2 laps left for the rest of these drivers. All depends on where Larson will come out. Really just dictating the end of the race now. Larson up there in the front. Really no worries for him unless he absolutely destroys his car and it takes him ages to get back and going. The 53 car of Rodman has a moment. Oh no. Goes wide on turn 1. Looks like a little bit of damage to the front of that Lamborghini. He's still P2 in class, but that loses him the win. Now we have Martin Alberts and Fender here. Going back to this battle, Alberts takes the inside line on Fender and makes the move. So Fender will move down, Alberts moves up. And indeed, this will be the final lap of the race. Right behind these two drivers is our race leader, Christopher Larson, and look at the top speed of that Porsche in comparison to Fender's Lamborghini. And I thought, oh no! Looks like they had some contact there. Fender is not looking too good there, the front fender. Back to Reed. That's who we're going to watch here, though, for the last lap, as now Larson rounding the toe. The 66 of Henry will be the first to cross after Larson. Reed has got to maintain his position for this last lap. Kapelke's right on the heel of Belanger now, as they exit the bus stop. Kapelke going wide, but maintaining a lot of speed there. Kapelke is right on the tail of Belanger for P4. Belanger's got to keep it clean now. Reed now has Harvey right on his tail out of the bus stop section there. I knew with the damage that Reed must have, definitely not going to be fast down the straights there. That's where Henry is really going to have the speed on him. Valero's back up right behind these guys as well. I don't think he's close enough to make anything stick, though. Henry will cross the line. Adam Henry will cross the line and make that position stick. Here we have Belanger now battling with Kapelke. Final turn, Belanger on the defensive, but now it's a drag race to the finish. And I don't think Kapelke's got the speed. That will be Belanger 4, Kapelke 5, Reed right behind. Got Henry, and he'll maintain the position. Reed will maintain 6, Henry will get 7, Valero will get 8. Dijkstra finishes as well. Flores will cross the line, P9, but that's P1 for the Legionnaire class. Even though he had a bit of an incident, Rodman will come away with P2s. Probably a bit disappointed in that because he could have got the win, but you win some and you lose some. Kevin Yu will get P3 in the Legionnaires. Yao will get P4. Collis will be P5. P6 in class will be Bernal. If Alberts doesn't catch him on the last lap, which he will. Actually, P6 will be Alberts after a late race move here. I'm wondering if... Did Bernal run out of gas? I think he did. Bernal trying to coast to the finish here. No gas left in the tank. Is he going to be able to make it to the line? I think he will. I don't think there's any question about it there. He indeed will cross the line. And there you have it. That is Bernal crossing the line, finishing the race. He's the last driver we have to finish the race. As our drivers are now leaving, we're just waiting for the session to end there before we can go and see the timetables. But I can at least give you the winners for our Centurion class. That's going to be Christopher Larson, Jose Nunez, and Kenneth Portis. They will be our podium for the Centurions class. Great racing from all of the drivers. I mean, Larson obviously dominated the whole race, but incredible racing from Reed, Valero, from all of the rest of those Centurion drivers battling it out the whole race just for all of those like middle positions there in the class. Absolutely incredible from all of them. Nunez, Portis, Belanger, Kapelke, Reed, Harvey, all just battling it out all race long. I don't think there was more than 2 seconds between these drivers for the whole race, so incredibly impressive from them. Hats off to them. One of the best races I've seen so far in ZRL in that respect. In our Legionnaires class, we've got Flores, Rodman, and Yu will take away the podium. Behind them, we've got Yao, Collis, Alberts, Bernal, our wildcard driver, will slot in right behind there. Fender, Dijkstra, Henry, Pinio, Harvey, Miles Harvey, and Chris Rise will round out the final few positions that we have for tonight's race. Well, folks, there you have it. I got to say that was an absolutely fantastic race. Incredible driving from our drivers. A lot of great moves. Watkins Glen does have a way of just throwing a lot of great battles and great moments into the race for everyone to see. So really exciting race tonight, and we'll be back next week. We'll be back for the next few weeks. All of June, we've got a race on Tuesday nights. Next week, round 4 is going to be at Donington Park. We'll head across the pond to what is my personal favorite track of all of the British GP, or British GT, or British TC Touring Car Championship tracks that we have in ACC. Donington, I just absolutely love it. I think there's a lot of really great parts of that track, so I'm very excited to bring the coverage of Donington. I almost wish I could be driving it myself. Might have to ask Portis if I can be the wild card for next week's race. Anyway, that's all I have for you tonight, folks. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate all the support that you give us. Be sure to like and subscribe, and if you're interested in joining our community, be sure to join our Discord server. The link is on the homepage of our YouTube channel. That's where you can find the most up-to-date information on all of our leagues and special events. Anyway, folks, that's all I've got. My name is Shim. I've been your host tonight. Y'all have an absolutely fantastic week, and see you next time.